Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV for the 22nd of December 2012. Today's episode, we're doing a couple of roundup episodes for 2012. And today's roundup episode are some of the better websites, better local news, local media websites for 2012 that I have encountered and that I use on a daily basis. So let's see. This is them. Okay, I got the ones that I use all day. These are them right here. There you go. Let's see. Well, let's go through what I've got on my my list here. Adweek, which I use occasionally. All Access, which is a very cool news the radio website. Although there's a lot of ads on it. And Joel Denver there. Joel Denver used to be a Washington broadcasting dude. Andrew Sullivan, who I go to a lot, the Baltimore Sun, which I don't check out too much now that they have the paywall. Broadcasting and Cable has a lot of interesting stuff. Buzz Machine, and now and then. Capital Weather Gang. I have a love-hate relationship with the Capital Weather Gang. I think they do an excellent job most of the time. They do sometimes go a little hype crazy with stuff, you know, but I guess, you know, they're doing a public service and warning us all of all the evil things coming our way. This is one of my favorite sites, City Desk there at the City Paper. They have a lot of interesting stuff. Occasionally some media news by the ever-brilliant Will Sommer. One of my favorite sites there. Although it doesn't seem to get a lot of traffic. There's a couple. If you look at these articles, 1 comment, 2 comments, you know. It'd be interesting if you got thousands and thousands of comments, but you know, hey, it's some cool stuff anyway. And I'm in the I'm the small club that joins that site, whatever. Current, PB, public broadcasting, radio, and TV stuff, real cool. Cutline, I go to the Daily Beast, Daily Caller, kind of dopey, kind of comedy news. I like to check them out every now and then. Daily Costs for political stuff. Another one of my favorite sites, the DC Sports Blog there with Dan Steinberg. I'm not sure I like the way the Post has reformatted it. With just, you know, you have to now click to look at every little posting. And in the old days, you could just kind of look at the page and see all the postings, or at least most of them. Occasionally some cool broadcasting stuff here. Like this one. John Feinstein warms up for the CBS radio show on 106.7 The Fan. There's John. I think, you know, Dan's a cool guy. I think he tries a little too hard sometimes not to make these radio TV guys angry. You know, you kind of kiss their ass a little bit. But, you know, hey, you do what you got to do, right? Oi, kavoy. Let's see, Drudge I do visit. It's, again, another comedy website, kind of funny stuff on there. Eric Wemple, another love-hate relationship. I think he does a good job. A little too much Fox News. Sometimes he just does a little too much stuff. It kind of drives you crazy. You know, but, you know, it's an interesting take on stuff. And, you know, he is kind of a pompous SOB, but I do love him dearly. Eric Wemple there. Fishbowl DC. What do you say? What do you got to say about these guys? Let's just see what they got. Let's see. Oh, look, the site's crashing. Come on. Can it load? Can it load? Oh, there it goes. Talk about a bad design website. Wow. Oh my God. What's this? Me. Look at it. Wow. Betsy has a thing about me. I don't know. Probably in another life we would have been a couple kind of warring all the time, but deeply in love. Who knows? 538.com, one of my favorite sites for the election stuff. Nate Silver, of course, everybody acknowledges he's brilliant. FMQB, a really cool. I get some local media news from there, national media news. You know, they're a pretty good site. I like them. You know, I like their page design. Really cool stuff. And this is cool. Look at this. Clear Channel has started an all-dance station, electronica dance station in Boston. Why don't they do that here in Washington? Foot's Forecast, some other really cool local weather site. Gawker I check out. Glenn Hauser's World of Radio has some cool stuff, flashbacky stuff. Howard Kurtzer I keep in touch with there on the Daily Beast. Huffington Post sites. Last Mogul, this is a good friend Adrian. He has a really cool movie news website here. He's one of my friends here in Reston. And really cool stuff here. It's brilliant. A brilliant site with a lot of, it's better than some of the national movie sites, but, really good take on things. Highly recommended. I don't think he gets a lot of traffic. I don't see a lot of comments on his stuff, but he certainly deserves to have a lot more traffic. Good friend Adrian there, and a wonderful site. Lisa DeMarais, who, again, you love to hate her. She doesn't do much local media news anymore, which I do miss, but she does, keep up to date with the national stuff. An interesting take on stuff on TV news, but, you can get it elsewhere, in faster, in a lot of cases. Who else here? Mediaite, I do check out every now and then, kind of a dumb site, but again, good for a laugh every now and then. Multi-channel news. I was on the National Hurricane Center a lot back when Sandy came through. New York Radio Message Board. It's kind of like DCRTV's Mailbag, but for New York. It's a shame they don't have a news site kind of like what we do at DCRTV. Along with that, it would be really cool if they fleshed that out. News Blues, one of my favorite sites for local TV news. Nikki Fink, again, I think probably does a better job covering a lot of this TV stuff than the Post does. The Politico, of course, Political Media. This is a good site. Again, Dylan Byers, heavily loved by all the journal weenies out there. One of my favorite radio sites of all time. I really like this site a lot, Radio Insight. They really do a damn good job of covering national radio news. Format change. There's a format change in Paducah, Kentucky, or Jackson, Mississippi. It will be on Radio Insight. They do a really good job of covering everything. And once in a while I'll see something. Oh, a station out in Fredericksburg or Hagerstown has changed, or he does a very good job. So I like Radio Insight a lot. Radio Online, which is okay, not quite as good. Radio Today UK for some UK news. I like that. Radio Info, which used to be good, now it isn't so good now that it's owned by Talkers. Radio Locator, which is cool. You can literally go to Radio Locator. You can type in find radio station by call letters. So let's do WWDC, okay? And then you click go there. And then you can look and you find information about the station. And then you can see their coverage map. And there's DC 101's coverage map. So, you can see you can get them really cool all around the Washington area. Really one of the better signals. But I like Radio Locator. It's a very good site. Real Clear Politics, of course. I go there all the time. Reston Patch for my local news, Restonian. This is a cool guy. He's in my hometown here, Reston. Does just the most bizarre take on things. Really, I don't know who it is, but he does a really cool kind of snarky take on the planned community here. Very cool site. Rob Pecoraro, of course, from the Washington Post. No longer there, but I love reading his tech stuff. Of course, Romanesco, the kind of a-hole journalist god dude, He never links to me, because when I get cool stuff, he just doesn't do it. I guess he's jealous. Rotten Tomatoes, Slash.ro, like Talking Points Memo, Steve Buttrey there. Really cool. Used to be at TPM, I believe. TMD. What was it called? TBD. Whatever that thing was. He has some really good takes on the local media. Like his blog a lot. The Daily Dish. Okay, Andrew Sullivan again. I got him linked here twice. I don't know why. I guess because he moved. Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor now, really cool website. Not a website. He does this morning newsletter. I used to be at Radio Info, but he's one of the better TV local radio guys, national radio guys. Blah, 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 blah. Let me check the status. Okay, we're at the 8-minute mark, so let's keep it going here. Let's see. TV Spy, which I like. One of Media Bistro's better blogs, although a lot of their stuff's pretty bad. TV News Check does a pretty good job. TV Newser is excellent. Always like them. The Blade, City Paper, the Post Ombudsman, Weather Underground, which is pretty good. Weather.com is pretty good. Wonket, which I check out occasionally. And, of course, the infamous David Zurowick, Z on TV, which most of it, I don't know, kind of a pompous little man. Some of his stuff is okay. But, now that it's behind, am I getting the paywall now? Let's see if I can get the paywall to come up on this thing. So if I want to read his thing about LaPierre, let's not let NRAs misdirect us with ignorance lies about a media. Good liberal there anyway, Davey Zurowick, even though he's kind of a pompous ass. But look, I can't read it. Sorry, Dave, can't read it because your paywall came up. Oh, look at that. Human League, Love Action there on Sirius XM 33, First Wave. That's what we're listening to. Let's crank that up. All right, folks, we're doing a couple of we're doing a as I said, a couple of end of the year look back things for 2012, and we did our top 10 stories for 2012 in the previous Dave TV, further down this page somewhere, and today was the looking at some of my favorite media. Oh, now I could go to my other, there are more websites that I go to, by the way. There are porn sites, stuff like that. I'm not going to bring them up here. These are my kind of, respectable, businessy oriented sites. You don't want to you don't want to see the porn sites I go to. Maybe in another episode of Dave TV. Thanks for watching Dave TV for the 22nd of December 2012. Have a great holiday season and go Redskins this weekend. You got to win, win, win.